So I've been taking you around to some of these low single-A minor league baseball games throughout Florida. And today we're going to be at the team that is closest to my house, the Clearwater Threshers, the low-A minor league affiliate of the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm not necessarily a Phillies fan, but you'll see that because I was from Pennsylvania, I grew up, was born and raised in Pennsylvania, that I do have a lot of Phillies stuff. And I've gone to a lot of Phillies minor league baseball games. I went to a ton of Reading Phillies games when I was a little kid, and I'll talk more about that over the course of the video. But here in Clearwater, Florida, at a Clearwater Threshers game, let's enjoy it. It is a Friday night here at Baycare Ballpark, home of the Clearwater Threshers. And on some Friday nights, they do beach dog nights. When they were deciding on changing the name from the Clearwater Phillies to the Clearwater Threshers, they had a contest to pick the new name, and coming in second place was the Beach Dogs. So every once in a while they wear the alternate jerseys and allow fans to bring their dogs to the park. So that is happening tonight. Also 50-cent hot dogs at the game. So you always find some really cool promotions at minor league baseball games. This year I did a vlog from a Tampa Tarpons game, and I talked about their manager Rachel Balkovec, who is the first female manager in MLB affiliated minor league baseball. And today Clearwater just happens to be playing against the Tampa Tarpons, so Balkovec is here again for this game. This is Phillies 2022 first-round draft pick Justin Crawford, who is making his second minor league start, at least in front of people. didn't go crazy on the food here today because they don't have all of their options on Friday nights. This is a beach dog night, which means they have 50-cent hot dogs, so I think that's what most people are getting. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get some of the other things that I've enjoyed here in the past. However, luckily I have tried the Beyond Burger and some of the fried cheese curds that they have here, both the buffalo ones and the blue cheese. I tried those at a Phillies spring training game earlier in the spring, obviously, and you can see that video right after I try a couple of the fries. I'll tell you about the fries. They have good boardwalk fries here. And one of my favorite things is they have containers of hot sauce. So I dipped some hot sauce down here, and I'm putting my fries in the hot sauce, which is just awesome. I'm standing at a little standing area where you can rest your food, and I'm right on the first base side eating some French fries at a ball game. It's a pretty good deal. So right now, I'll insert that video from spring training of me trying some of the other food options that you can get here on occasion at Baycare Ballpark. And I got 3 vegetarian options, including the vegan option, which is the Beyond Burger. The Beyond Burger here is $10. I put some ghost pepper sauce on it, and hopefully the pickles and the onions will offset that a little bit, that ghost pepper sauce. And I've actually had the Beyond Burger here in previous games, so I'm not going to eat it in front of you because I'm just showing you the food because I'm by myself. But I will say it's very good. The only issue I have is like a lot of ballpark hamburgers, even if you get one with meat, it's cooked very, very well done. So just keep that in mind. But these are the items that I want to try for you right now, and they are cheese curds. These are the ranch cheese curds, and these are the Nashville hot cheese curds. And I want to give them a little taste and let you know what I think. Sort of something a little special here at Phillies spring training games in Clearwater, Florida. So, first of all, something very good must have just happened for the Phillies in the spring training game. But very, very strong flavor of ranch there. The curds are good, obviously. Being fried, that tastes really great as well. But that is a dull flavor. It's very cheesy and, of course, ranch. Now I imagine these Nashville hot cheese curds are a little different. Very, very spicy, but the cheese curd itself actually helps with that a little bit. But woo! Make sure you get yourself a soda or some kind of beverage while you're eating those, because they do have a little bit of a kick to them. But I would definitely recommend them. Both of them are $4. It's $4 a piece, and the Beyond Burger is $10. Some good ballpark food. So as most of you know, if you watch or listen a lot, I am a vegetarian, so I would no longer have a cheesesteak. However, as you would imagine, being the Phillies single A affiliate, Clearwater has to have cheesesteaks. And here they have Delco's cheesesteaks served at all of the registers. And I've heard from people from Philadelphia and Eastern Pennsylvania that Delco's cheesesteaks are the real deal. There's a location in Dunedin, Florida, and one in Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. And of course, you can get Delco's cheesesteaks here at a Clearwater Threshers game. Here's the Clearwater Phillies / Clearwater Threshers Wall of Fame. Some players from Clearwater who made it all the way to the big leagues. Ruth Ruffin, now some big name guys like Scott Rowland, Jimmy Rollins, Carlos Ruiz, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Cole Hamels, and then Pat Burrell and Ryan Matson. I would say that Chase Utley has a chance at the Hall of Fame one day. It is actually a travesty of justice that Scott Rowland isn't already in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. He definitely has the numbers to warrant it, but he is in the Clearwater Hall of Fame. Just on a side note, they have a chair here dedicated to prisoners of war and missing in action. Just a really cool nod to those who served. So I showed you this sign over in Bradenton for the Pirates, but here in Clearwater they have it for the Phillies organization as well. So the Gulf Coast League team plays in the facility here in Clearwater. It is right on the other side of this fence. That's the 200 yards. Lakewood, New Jersey is the High A affiliate. A few years ago, back when that was the Low A affiliate of the Phillies, I saw a game there in Lakewood, New Jersey. Phillies Hall of Famer Steve Carlton actually was signing autographs at that game. 1,073 miles to Reading, Pennsylvania, home of the Fightin' Phils. I used to go every Sunday home game when I was a kid. I'll have a story outside of the ballpark about Reading and Clearwater connecting. Lehigh Valley. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, 1,114 miles away. The only Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs game I ever saw was a rehab start or a warm-up start for Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez when he signed a contract with the Phillies. The AAA team of the Phillies used to be in Scranton. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons. Now Scranton Wilkes-Barre is the Yankees affiliate. And the Philadelphia Phillies, 1,058 miles. So I just think it's really fun when they have these mile markers here at the stadiums. So I'm leaving Baycare Ballpark for the night. A great night catching the Clearwater Beach Dogs this time. Usually the Clearwater Threshers, the low A affiliate of the Philadelphia Phillies. If these guys do well, they're going to be promoted first to Lakewood, New Jersey, and then to Reading, Pennsylvania, and the AA Reading Phillies. Like I mentioned earlier, I used to go see the Reading Phillies every Sunday home game when I was a kid, and I developed favorites. I developed some favorite players, even though maybe they weren't the best players in the world. They were the ones that I saw play minor league baseball. And going on Sundays, the catcher would always be the backup catcher because Saturday would be a night game and Sunday would be a day game. So they wanted to rest the knees of the full-time catcher. So every Sunday I would see the backup catcher. And I was a catcher, so I would always pay attention to the catcher. You know, my father would be like, pay attention to the catcher, see what he's doing, because that's what you're going to be doing when you're playing. You want to follow that player. So I always watched the backup catcher, Edwin Rosado. And he became one of my favorite players because I followed him. I was a catcher, he was a catcher. I would see him start every Sunday, being a kid, not necessarily realizing that it was because he was the backup catcher. And he got demoted to Clearwater at one point, and we came down to go to Walt Disney World. So one of our off days, we came out to the Tampa Bay area anyway, and we saw the beach and we did some other things, but we decided to go to a Clearwater, back then it was the Clearwater Phillies, to see Edwin Rosado. And there were maybe, back then it was at a different ballpark, it wasn't here, it was downtown. There were like 20 or 30 people in the stands. And we were cheering every time Edwin Rosado came up. I was wearing Reading Phillies gear, so he obviously knew why. And we would cheer every time he came up. He ripped a double at one point, and he wasn't a very good hitter. I know this now because I could look up his statistics. I didn't know any of this back then. And he had a good game, and he could obviously tell that we were cheering for him because there weren't very many people there. So after the game, he came up to us, he gave us some baseballs, he posed for pictures, he was really nice, signed some autographs, and it was just one of those memories that I have as a kid that was really special to me. And now looking back at it as an adult, I realize it wasn't the best time in his life. He was in AA as a backup catcher, and then he got demoted. So he was probably not in the best headspace, but he knew that I was a kid, I was a fan of his, and he wanted to make things special for me because he knew I was a fan. And that actually sticks out to me more now as an adult, that experience, and how gracious he was to me compared to not being in the best part of his career. So I don't know what happened to Edwin Rosado after baseball, and I do not have the world's biggest YouTube channel, so I know that he's probably never going to hear this story, but it really, really meant the world to me, and I still appreciate it to this day even more. So that's just a story about the Reading Phillies and their connection to here in Clearwater and my life, and it sort of has a theme park tie-in too, and we like to talk about the theme parks on this channel. So for those of you who aren't baseball fans but have stuck with these baseball videos, I really, really appreciate it. I think I have one more, maybe two more that I'm going to be doing, but I really appreciate you maybe watching something that normally wouldn't be your cup of tea. I'll talk to you soon.